Hey there, everybody. It's around 4-ish on January 6th. It's a typical overcast day that we get in the winter in western Pennsylvania. We're looking at asparagus that's gone to seed. It's really pretty. Let me just take a quick January walk through the garden. This is the front yard. This is Santalina. It looks really nice in the winter. I started putting sawdust down. I didn't quite finish here. You can see where I need to add some. I also need to cut some plants back. This is a sage bush. Down there I've got a fig. It's covered for the winter. It was really short. The top froze out last year, but the roots stayed good, and it shot up another main trunk. So we're going to see how that goes. Everybody needs a haircut at this point. Some of these will leave till spring in case we have butterflies, cocoons, and such hatching on them. We want to give the butterflies some habitat. I have a lot of sunflowers. They're courtesy of the neighbor's feeder. I just let them grow where I want them to and take them away where I don't. Got plans for the next year. We're looking at maybe putting in a dwarf quince tree in here. It'd be a nice addition. The aronia looks like it's going to stay short. It really isn't taking off as a tree. It's more of a bush. So I think that leaves a space here for an actual tree. And it turns out the quince that I thought I got over here is a dwarf flowering quince. It's not the fruiting kind. It's just pretty in the spring, which is great for the bees and for the birds, but not so much for fruit production. You can see I put sawdust down for a lot of this. It helps protect the roots in winter. I have some perennials in here, and I'm hoping that the Japanese indigo reseeded, but we'll see. You never know what you're going to get. That's our train. This is our purple sage, and that's a lemon balm. On the other side of the path, we have our gnome. These are the blueberries. We have 3 of them in here, and I don't know how well they're going to do. I do know that the birds go nuts for them, so I'm looking for a late blueberry, because once the sunflowers are in full production, they leave the birds leave the blueberries alone. So we're hoping for that. Those are currants, and underneath that all there's also rhubarb. I had celery underneath here, but with the drought last year it didn't turn out so well. It looks like I've got to reset my boundaries here come spring too. There's leeks underneath there, and I've been harvesting them slowly all winter. And that's a property line. I picked up someone's Christmas tree off a curb. I'm going to chop that up, and we're going to turn this section back here into a blueberry patch. It's half sun, half shade, So you can see my little celery is poking out of the ground there. I'm hoping for some seed next year. And was hoping to add maybe 3 bushes in here, so that's why the spruce tree here is getting chopped up. And then in this section, we're under a Japanese maple, and we have 1 black currant there. I want to add a couple more bushes. Looks like I'd add about 3 of them in here. And then on the corner there, I actually have a honeyberry, and they have yet to produce. I got 1 here and 1 on the other side, because you need 2 of them in order to pollinate well. And they both are the same season. I think they're both mid-season, not late season. So they will actually bloom at the same time in theory. This is my current project. See how nice I'm trimming the hedge? I got all that to do yet. So that's also some really good mulch that'll get added to the garden. Help keep the weeds down, add some nutrition to the soil. Some of this has got to get cleaned up. Show you a sneak peek back here behind the bushes. That was a pumpkin. It didn't do real well here. I planted it too late. We had a late start to the year on those. Back in here, I want to get this cleaned up and maybe start a tomato patch back there. This is where they put the new gas line in, and they did not do a very good job of filling the dirt back in. They left me some really big holes and pockets. So if you saw my way earlier, a couple years ago video, this is where they put a new gas meter in, and they really dug this area up, and consequently the water does not run away from the house anymore. And add to that, the roofers forgot to put 1 of the gutters back on when they roofed the porch, and so that's just laying here, and I've called them a number of times, and it's still here. So I don't expect that to change. I'm gonna have to get some other work done anyway. Let's see. Paint is starting to go, so those boards have to be replaced and repainted, and maybe hope to get some cedar up there if I can afford it. So that's all for today. And give you one last shot. This is our sky. This is what it looks like most of the winter. It's overcast, and we call it vampire light. Have a good day.